And welcome back, guys, to the next episode of Study Sundays. I know that currently the World Replan Blitz is going on, and I'm not sure if all of you are going to be so interested with solving studies because there are so many nice games to watch there, but still I wanted to record it for any of you who might still be interested to solve a nice study or to see a nice study, to see the solution of it. So this is another one which I stole from the fantastic book by Michal Konopka, Magic Chess Moves, can highly recommend it. And in this study, it is white to move and win. It is composed by Mario Matous. I think it's also a Czech study composer, as far as I'm aware, from the year 1977. And it is white to move and win. Let's have a look at the solution. So the start is quite straightforward. White has knight b8 check, which I think the experienced study solver will definitely take into consideration immediately, because giving a check with a bishop on b7 does not really do anything. The black king can just run out, and there are no more ideas to checkmate now, as far as I can see. Well, maybe knight b8 with the idea of knight c6, but black can go king b4, and if checked, then just run to a3, for example, and black is going to be winning. Apart from that, b4 would set up the checkmate idea, but now black can actually not take on d7 immediately. This is a good question too, but instead I assume give a check first with the bishop. And now if rook takes f3, there's going to be queen d5 or queen e4 with a check, and if king b8, well, for example, not queen takes d7, then rook a3 is coming, but queen b7 now is just checkmate on the next move. And if the bishop takes in this position, then I can take with the queen, and there is no more rook a3 with checkmate. So this is another important variation. b4 definitely has to be considered. Didn't even think about that so much earlier, but b4 has the big problem of bishop f3 check. Apart from that, like queen takes d7, as we've discussed, runs into rook a3. So b4 is a logical move, but fails because of bishop f3 check. Knight b8 is the right continuation. Black has to go king a5, and still the king is threatening to run out now via b4, so knight c6 has to be played, king to a6. And now white can, of course, repeat the moves and make a draw, but there is a stronger continuation here. I guess that if it is black to move, he would be, well, first of all, quite interested on capturing the rook on h3, but also to just play b4 to give the king some space to run out. So therefore white has to go for b4 here. And now we do have a checkmate threat of knight b8 now. But black still has a defense here. So in case you were solving the position and reached this position, and now was wondering, and now you might have been wondering, what does black even do now? There is one defense for black, which is to move bishop to f3. Otherwise, if black gives a check, then white can just go knight b8 with a check himself, and black needs to sacrifice the queen, and then it's going to be mate on the next move with rook a3. Bishop f3, however, does put up some ideas with stalemate. Like if white takes now with a rook on f3, then black can just give a check here, sacrifice the queen, and it is a stalemate. So therefore white needs to be careful here, and the same idea does not work after, well, if queen c8 check, what we've been discussing earlier, if black goes for bishop f3 here, then we don't need to take. For example, we can just put him into zugzwang with a move like rook g3, bishop has to move, and then rook a3 is going to come on the next move with mate. Just to have that said as well. But bishop f3 is a tricky move, and now white only has one continuation, because the knight can still not move because the king is going to be pinned. Therefore knight b8 is not possible just yet. White needs to take with the bishop on f3 now. And there are still some stalemate tricks though. After black goes queen c8 check, queen f8 would lead to the same idea. Knight b8 comes. Actually, let me think if there's anything more which we should elaborate on here. I don't think so. If queen takes f3, then we can just take, and knight b8 followed by mate or rook a3 in the next move is unstoppable. And apart from that, knight b8 is anyway coming. So this is the only idea which black has. Sacrifice the queen, and now h1 queen. And now is the whole finale of the study, where white only has one one winning move, because if you take with the rook or with the bishop, it's going to be a stalemate. Bishop b7 is still not possible because the queen also covers that square. So what does white do here? In case you wanna solve the end of the study now, make sure to stop the video. I'm gonna show you the final move now, which is the move bishop to g2. And after that, black is basically in Zugzwang. I mean, the thing is that also rook a3 is threatening, so we just need to. It's not really a Zugzwang. It's more of putting this threat into the position with rook a3. And if the queen covers that with a move like queen c1, for example, then also bishop b7 is a threat. So here black cannot cover both threats. If they take here, by the way, it's important not to take the queen, but instead to give bishop b7 mate, because after taking again, it would be a stalemate. So after bishop g2, it's basically the end of the study. Maybe one more thing needs to be said here, which is a move queen to h2 check. It's probably the best defense for black. Since rook takes h2 again would be a stalemate. So here white needs to go for king c8, but now I don't really see what black can do anymore, because if the queen sacrifices itself now on h3, then it's not going to be stalemate anymore. The king can go to a7 and white will just slowly pick up all of the pawns and will win then. So that was basically the end. I will promote this variation. Queen h2 can still be tried, but after king c8, then I believe it is game over. Now I'm seeing though, what about queen b8 check? This is turning into solving the study together, because I think in the book, when I analyzed this, it ended with bishop g2 basically. But now I'm wondering, queen to h2 check, king c8, and queen to b8 check. Because king takes b8 again is going to be stalemate. So I think king d7, I'm sure that king d7 needs to be played. And now, well, the queen cannot give any more checks here, because then the king can always just take and black's king can go to a7. Rook a3 obviously is a threat. So what about queen a7 check here? Then king e6, and there are no more checks. So this should actually be the finale of the study. Maybe it was also pointed out by the author, Michael Konopka, but this is quite an important variation as well. Queen b8 check and king d7, and then white is winning. So if you've seen all of that by yourself, then kudos to you. You've solved the study better than it was even put in the book, as far as I remember. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed this edition of Study Sundays. Again, I can highly recommend you check out the book of Michael Konopka, Magic Chess Moves. Really enjoy that, and there are a lot of nice studies in there as well, apart from other cool calculation exercises too. So thank you guys for watching, and I will see you again next week for the next edition of Study Sundays. See you then.